Greetings, Patrick here, and welcome back to Dollar Theater, the Voters Edition. Dollar Theater, the Voters Edition is a series that where we put up 4 films per week that we have each gotten for, or I've gotten for $1.25 or less, and then you pick one of the 4 movies I put up there, and then me and the Cheetah we watch and review it. I've been doing themes for this one. As you know, there's been themes I've done. Like comedies or westerns or science fiction or horror or stuff like that. So I decided to do something a little different this week, and I decided to do my Criterion. I could do a Criterion week. I have a few Criterions. I have like 15 or 16 of them. So I thought, well, I'll just throw out 4 of them, and then you guys can pick which one we watch and talk about. And so the movie that we decided that you guys picked on and is from 1997, and you guys picked Chasing Amy, written and directed and co-starring Kevin Smith. It also stars Ben Affleck, Jason Lee, Joey Joey Lauren Adams, and yeah, this is I have to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest Kevin Smith guy. My favorite movie that he has done has been Dogma. Really enjoyed that quite a bit, but the rest of them are just really have not really been my cup of tea. Until Jason Amy, I gotta admit I was floored. I was not expecting it to be so good, and for about 85% of this movie, I really enjoyed it a lot. Um, I really did. I thought it was outstanding. Unfortunately, Kevin Smith does this a little bit too much for my liking. He sunk his own battleship, so to speak. The last 15 minutes, the last 20 minutes is dog meat. Absolutely. I won't say it took. I won't say it took away from the movie because that's giving it way too much credit for doing that. The movie up to the last 15 20 minutes has been outstanding. I would highly recommend it to anybody. Um, but the last 15 minutes, just really frustration, very frustrating. But the movie basically is about a young man named Holden McNeil, and he is a comic book artist, and him and his friend Banksy, played by Jason Lee, they're creators. They create a comic book, and they're pretty good at it. They're pretty good at it. They go around and they go to all the different comic book conventions, and they're very popular, and so much popular that um, the two are starting to be they're starting to be going to be offered a TV show for their creation. Chronic Man, I think that's what his name is. Chronic and Blunt Man. Chronic and Blunt Man. Of course, it would be. Um, and while they're at their latest convention, and a young friend of theirs named Hooper, who is also a really strong, like a superhero type of writer. Well, he gets in an argument with Banksy and ends up getting shot for his trouble. Banksy ends up getting shot for his trouble, but we find out it's just a gimmick. It's just a skit. And this is before YouTube, by the way. Uh, now, what they do, Pride does it every single convention. But when you're watching it for the first time, it is pretty shocking. It's like, whoa, wow, I didn't expect that to happen. 5 minutes into the movie, and on our main second hero our protagonist is already dead. Turns out, no, it's just a gimmick, and they do that to help their friend, who, while he's a terrific comic book writer and he comes across as badass and tough, he really is. He's openly gay, very much gay, but he can't write his books underneath his real name because people they wouldn't take it seriously. So he has to come up with this persona. Well, anyway, Hooper, he introduces he introduces Holden to Alyssa Jones, who is also a comic book a writer, and so you can tell that Holden is instantly spitting, and you can understand that. I mean, Alyssa is a very cute girl, and so they go ahead and they talk for a little while, and things look pretty cool, and so then Holden and Banksy get invited to go down to see Alyssa down at a local pub. So Holden's going down there thinking that he's going to hook up. So he goes on down there, and he's not really looking at his surroundings too much, but otherwise, think of the Blue Oyster. So he walks in there, and we find out that Alyssa was also a singer, and so she starts singing this song, and Holden thinks it's towards him, and this blonde girl comes up there, and it turns out that Alyssa is a lesbian, and of course that sort of blows Holden's wheels off. He doesn't really know how to handle that too well, but he still likes her. So he decides, he's going to try to, he's going to go ahead and try. He's going to go ahead and make a run at it, even though he knows Alyssa is, gay, he's still going to make a run at it. So, so he tries. They first they tussle over it, and then they reconcile, and then Holden and Alyssa, they look to be a very cute couple. And until Banksy, who is jealous of Alyssa because he's in the closet himself. He's in the closet himself, and he really loves Holden, his friend, and so he goes out there and he sabotages Holden and Alyssa's relationship. Well, I should say Holden does it with his reaction, but Banksy's not his friend, and it causes Holden to question everything about Alyssa, and they finally have it out, and it's where they have it out in the rain where like I really love you, and I don't want this to interfere with us, and then they have a terrific fight at the hockey rink where he has found out that Alyssa is a little bit more experienced than he is in the world, and so he's feeling really inadequate, and he doesn't know really how to handle it. So after being told by their friend Hooper that Banksy loves you, man, he has feelings for you, he decides that the best way to show everybody how everybody loves each other is the fact that they're going to have a three-way, which goes as well as you could expect it could go. And Alyssa basically just says, I'm done. And so he, and that's the end of the relationship. And there's a little bit of a part with Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob, and then we see Holden a year later. Holden and Banksy have creatively broken up. The TV show's not made, but they still care for each other. They wave to each other across the room, but it's just not going to work out for them, working together so close. And then we see Holden walk up and to see Alyssa. She's got a new book out. Holden's got a brand new book out, and he gives it to Alyssa, and it's a cover of her painting a girl, and Holden's in the background, and they talk really gently for a couple of minutes, and then each go their own ways. Wow, like I said, I mean, who knew Kevin Smith could write a drama like this? I mean, I guess every movie I've seen of his, has always been, always aimed for laughs. Has always been aimed for laughs. And so I'm sitting here, I'm watching this movie, and I'm going like, there's a couple of humorous moments in it, yes, Banksy, but you really like Holden at first, you really do, and I think there was a lot of Ben Affleck in Holden, a lot. In fact, I mean, just the self-destructive behaviors, not willing to let past history go, just being, it's just the envy, the jealousy, just it smacked like him. It sounded like him talking. It didn't sound like him playing a character. It sounded like him himself, and it was sad. It was really sad to see that character that had the world on, had a good best friend, had a book, a book to go into a movie. Life was good. They got some money, they got friendships, and he's got himself a fine girlfriend who gave up a lot, to go out with him. Including her ridicule from her own girlfriends, telling them, "Well, we lost another one." They're drinking to Alyssa, because now she's no longer a straight lesbian. So even though she's sitting at the table with her friends, they're already drinking a toast in her memory. That's really, really shitty. So just to see his reaction to it, like finding out that she had a threesome 10 years ago in high school, and he's jealous of that. He dug up the information about it. That just smacks of Ben Affleck. So it's like Kevin Smith either knows the man very, very well, very well, or he just progressed after this came out to whereas maybe he watched it a lot, maybe watched the movie a lot of times too, and says, "This is more like me. Every time I watch it, I'm doing these behaviors more and more and more because everybody knows about Ben Affleck's destructive behavior." The girl, Joey Lauren Adams, I've only seen her like in one other movie before this. She's really cute. And I, enjoyed her voice. I thought she gave a really good performance as Alyssa. You really like her a lot, and you felt bad for her. You really did. You felt bad for her, and you really hope that she finds true happiness wherever she goes because she deserves it. Yeah, the last 15 minutes of the movie where Holden comes to Banksy and Alyssa and tries to talk them into doing a three-way. Just it felt cobbled on. It didn't feel organic at all. It wasn't funny at all. It wasn't funny. It was very disrespectful to Alyssa. The fact that she did walk out and she slapped him and says, "I'm not your whore." I thought that was a great line, and it fit the end of the scene. But I just don't think the scene needed to be in the movie in the first place. But overall, I would recommend Chasing Amy. But it's a heavy film. It's different. I wish Kevin Smith would do more of these. I know he does he goes back to Clerks every time he needs a jolt. Every time I got to put a movie out, I'll go put out Clerks 20 or Mallrats 17 or stop. Do this. You got that in your pen, so make a film about this. Do this again. Less Mallrats, more Chasing Amy. All right. Well, that's the end of our review. I definitely would, and I would definitely get in the Criterion edition as well. Criterion has a ton of special features on here, including the audio commentaries. This is an early Criterion at only 75. So this is one of the very first Criterions they put out, the spine number 75. But I highly recommend getting the Criterion edition more than the other one. Any other edition there is, I would try to hang out and try to get the Criterion one. All right, that's it for us. We're going to go ahead and put another 4 movies out for you guys to vote on. But thank you for watching this one. Drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think of Chasing Amy. And I wonder why Joey Lauren Adams never became a big star. That's interesting because she was really good in this. All right, that's it for us. Peace.